Thank you very much. Thank you.
At the beginning of 2007, Governor Schwarzenegger asserted that partisan politics were a thing of the past and promised to usher in a post-partisan approach to the state's problems. As the year comes to a close, this summer's protracted budget battle and this fall's special session that has yet to produce comprehensive health care reform or address the state's fundamental water needs has left many people wondering if partisan politics is as big a factor in Sacramento as ever. And 2008, with a looming budget deficit, makes the thought of bipartisanship even more remote. While there is still time for a last-minute compromise on comprehensive health care reform and how to deal with our impending water crisis, time is running out. Will there be health care reform? And if so, what will it look like? Can the Republicans and the Democrats reach an agreement on how to assure an adequate water supply in the future? Will it include a new dam above Millerton at Temperance Flat? And if the state's budget deficit swells to a projected $10 billion in red ink next year, what programs will have to be cut and what taxes will have to be raised? We will discuss what happened in Sacramento over the last year and why with 4 key state legislative leaders from the Valley, and then talk to political observers to get their thoughts on what happened at the state capitol in 2007 and what the key political issues will be in 2008.
From Fresno, the Maddy Report with Executive Director of the Maddy Institute, Mark Keppler.
Welcome. Some think California is ungovernable. Some say the issues from health care to water to air quality to the subprime mortgage debacle to the almost $150 billion state budget are just too complex. Others think that California's political system, with an emphasis on special ballot propositions, there were 86 ballot propositions that have been proposed in the last 7 years, gerrymandered districts and the like, that are making it safe for incumbent parties, are encouraging partisan gridlock. Some say all of the above are making California ungovernable. Despite Governor Schwarzenegger's call that 2007 be the year of post-partisan politics, this summer we had another late state budget, and this fall we've had a special session that has struggled to find consensus on the 2 issues it was asked to address, health care and water. And now the state's nonpartisan legislative analyst has sounded the alarm that the state faces $10 billion in red ink in 2008 and has called on the governor and the legislature to address this budget shortfall by immediately beginning to cut government programs and raise taxes. John Brent discusses why moving beyond partisan politics proved more challenging than many thought in 2007 and why it may be even more difficult to develop bipartisan solutions to the state's most pressing problems in 2008.
The future of California, according to Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. When does it start?
We can start by all of us working together.
2007 began with that bold desire on partisanship from a centrist governor. He called this era post-partisanship. At the time, Republican Assembly Leader Mike Valines wasn't sure what that meant.
Last year was not bipartisan. I'm not sure what post-partisan means, but if we're serious about the big issues, we'll make them 2/3 votes.
Political analyst and Fresno State professor Dr. Tom Holyoke sees the governor as the "I'm the partisanship terminator."
To put sort of a broad, almost nonpartisan coalition together to be able to move legislation. He's talked about that ever since he was elected.
Mike Valines, he's the greatest, he's the best.
Party caucus leaders joked in January, but on a tough Valley issue such as water storage, 2007 proved as partisan as ever.
I don't think taxpayer dollars ought to be spent to subsidize storage facilities for the private sector.
A unified plan on Valley water issues for the next 25 years is in the works. California Water Institute Director Dr. David Zaldowski hopes for a bright, nonpartisan future.
So we're hoping as a region, if we can come together and say, this is our future and these are the things we need to do, then we can have our elected officials then represent us then at the state and federal levels and help support the realization of those needs.
2008 will be tough on the nonpartisan front, with water, health care reform, and a looming $10 billion budget deficit on the table. Holyoke says health care reform will be the most difficult issue to put partisan bickering aside.
If the Republicans don't compromise, and they can turn around and say, we prevented taxes from being raised. We have been able to hold off the specter of socialized medicine. That's what they can say. Democrats, on their hand, can turn around and say, well, we want to provide health care for all these people, but the evil Republicans won't let us.
And getting elected in 2008 makes for the prospects of nonpartisanship slim.
Now it's down to make the other party look bad. So, yeah, partisan politics is going to be a lot worse this year.
This is John Brent for KC24, Central Valley's news station.
As John Brent reports, this year's political skirmishes may only be a warm-up for the bigger political battles that may take place in 2008. When we come back, we'll discuss the challenges of finding bipartisan solutions with the region's key political representatives in Sacramento. That conversation when we return. This is the Maddy Report.